Evening. Left over from. Right. I caught it at work, it's very cold there.
That's my issue here. Downstairs, I have basement.
Freezing. I was so excited to turn the air off.
I was not.
All right, is everybody?
Ooh, let me just check to make sure this is off.
He's got to keep us in line. Right.
I have an emergency.
She did have twins, right before her mother had twins and then her. So there were twins in the church pew.
In the church pew. They had to be separated.
Everyone settled in?
Yep.
Call the meeting to order. This meeting's being recorded,
Do we have a copy of?
and did you not get a copy?
Nope. Of the agenda? No.
Here you go. Did you?
Never mind. No. Thank you.
Oh, I have two.
Yeah, the one.
Does everyone have a agenda?
Yep.
Yes. So we all have. All right, so this meeting's being recorded. Again, this is the Webster Conservation Commission meeting, July 6th, 2026. It is 6:03.
Microphones need to be on.
And microphones need to be on. I'll start with myself.
Robin,
Robin, if you could just turn your microphone on.
Do you read me? Do you read me?
What's that?
Are you clear?
Yep, you're good.
Okay.
And so we're going to try to run this a little more orderly, this meeting. And if we could, just going to have everybody state your name for the record so we can establish a quorum.
Robin Jewell.
Peter Tarbox.
Patty Foley.
Pamela Sharon.
Devin Avery.
Brian Anderson.
Richard Parent.
Okay, we have a quorum. And first on the agenda is public meetings. There are no public meetings. Second on the agenda is public hearings. There are no public hearings. Moving straight on to action items, we're going to jump right into the draft meeting minutes for June 9th. Has everyone had a chance to review June 9th meeting minutes?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Any corrections?
I had one. I didn't ask about a swim raft.
Why not? Where was that? Do you remember?
It's near the end.
Swim platform. There is a swim
Yeah,
platform.
asked about
It
women's
said I asked
health.
about women's health. There's a swim raft platform.
Oh,
I didn't see that.
so delete that? Is that the,
Yeah. And I don't know about the harbor master.
I think you really said that, Rich, but it kind of went in as, looks like she said it.
there
I
is-
think when she asked the question. Should be women's health right there, yeah. 19 votes there, period, then.
That's
Oh.
where I stopped at 19 boats.
so this is,
I said something about the swim platform that was moored out in the lake right there in the harbor master's purview, probably.
Up one,
Or I said the swim platform and you said,
little further, yep, stop.
oh yeah, I know where it is. I'm just listening.
yeah, I mean, just what,
What do we want to do here?
I stopped at 19 boats.
Mr. Anderson said there's a swim platform, and then Mr. Parent has lost it. I guess, so just add in Mr. Anderson said there's a swim platform. Okay, I'm looking for a motion to approve June 9th draft minutes with this correction.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from June 9th with the corrections.
First by Ms. Sharon,
Second.
second by Mr. Tarbox. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes 6-0. Next is,
No,
what? 1, 2, 3,
okay,
6
yep,
to 0.
sorry.
Okay. The minutes for June 22nd. Has anyone had a chance to read that? Okay,
I abstained. I didn't read.
you didn't read them? Okay, we have enough for vote though? Okay. Any corrections?
I didn't see any.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the June 22nd meeting minutes.
Motion to approve June 22nd, meeting minutes as is.
First by Mr. Tarbox,
Second.
second by Mr. Avery. All those in favor?
Aye.
That was 5 in favor and 1 abstained. Mrs. Jewell. Okay, next we have 71 Minebrook. Matthew Weatherby, the owner. Rich, why don't you give us an update on this project?
Yeah, so Matt is kind of ghosted me. I'm guessing he's,
I can't hear you.
Matt hasn't responded on this matter. So I believe he's on vacation. So we're going to just have to continue this again. I would recommend that we continue at least 2 weeks out.
Question? When was the last time you heard from him?
He responded for this meeting, he responded that he was planning on being at this meeting. And that he was trying to get a hold of his, the applicant. And so I'm assuming either the applicant's not responding to him or he's on vacation or something. But I haven't had any other updates.
Okay, so you're going to continue, but right now, just we're looking for a motion to extend this 2 meetings, which would be August 3rd.
I motion we extend 71R Minebrook to August 9th or whatever.
Third.
August 3rd.
Okay, first by Ms. Jewell,
Second.
second by Mr. Avery. All those in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Next is 180 Kildare Road, request for COC. And Rich, looks like we're still waiting for something, so why don't you give us an update?
Okay, so here, this is a case where Steve is on vacation, and he indicated that he might be able to get it to me for this meeting. That's why it's here, but as it turns out, he has not. So he will definitely have an as-built for the. We both met out there at the property. We reviewed it. I took pictures. Everything looks good. I just don't have an as-built.
Okay, you think he's going to be ready for the next meeting? So we're just looking for a motion to continue this to July 20th?
Yeah, I
Okay.
hope so.
Looking for a motion?
I make a motion to continue 180 Kildare Road to the next meeting, which is July 20th.
I
First
second.
by Ms. Avery.
I second.
Second by Ms. Jewell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Next, we have 124 Gore Road, request for extension of certificate of compliance. Rich, why don't you take us through this?
Sure. So this property was originally approved a while back, back in 2022, I believe. And so we've already done one revision on this property, I'm sorry, extension. But I was out at the property. Essentially, everything has been done. They've knocked down. So this was basically a knockdown. And then they built a new home. You can see from the photos that the home is still present. Okay, so this is where the old, there used to be a cottage here. That's now gone. Then here we have this is actually the new home, and unfortunately the camera decided to zoom in. I don't know why. This is probably a better picture. Yeah, so this is the back of the home. This area right here is one of the areas left. He basically has to tie in all of his irrigation, his roof runoff into a water tank here that he's going to be burying here, the Caltech system, and so he's waiting on that. The owner is tore a biceps or something. He was in a brace in the back of the house. So what you were just looking at was the back of the house, and then you sort of pivot and you look down the road, and then this is where the lake is. So there's a hill that drops down here, and down at the bottom are where all the erosion controls are. And you can see that or maybe you might not be able to see, but essentially what you hopefully will see that the silt fences, given that we've approved this plan and we've extended it once, the silt fences are kind of getting loaded, but they're all intact and functional. You can see here's right up, you can see how.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty filled up.
Right. So this has to do with all the materials coming down that hill, some of the, we asked them sort of pull those up a little bit, but essentially it's all working. There's nothing on the other side of the barrier, and I went around checking all of them. They're all very tight and working functionally fine. But he doesn't have much work to do except for over on this side. The back of the house where the Caltech system needs to go in. And so he was really just looking for 6 months. And I thought that it would be, since we traditionally just do a year extension, that we sort of maintain that. But I would not recommend going out past a year, given the siltation fences and how filled they are.
You wouldn't recommend what?
Going out past a year. He was really only looking for 6 months, but who's to say, where he is, and he comes back to us in another 6 months.
Easy to
But
give him the- yeah.
he can't use his arm right now.
Yeah.
That's his problem.
Okay, so I'm looking to get a motion to extend 124 Gore Road for 1 year.
I make a motion to approve 124 Go Road for a 1 year extension.
First by Ms.
second.
Foley, second by Ms. Jewell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. Next, we have 42 Bates Point Road. This is also another request for a COC. And Rich, why don't you give us an update?
Sure. The applicant is here, Ron. Why won't I go backwards here? Okay. No, we're
Second
on
to the bottom.
42. Okay, so if you had a chance to sort of review this was an addition that was put on. I was going to show you the site plan. So this is an addition. Here, so here is the existing home. Here. And then this was the proposed addition, as well as a shed here. There is this little bump out as well.
There was a
And-
front corner too, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
All of these were to be tied into a Caltech system, which sits in here. And then these right here, for erosion purposes, right along this line. There was also some plantings that were discussed in the order of conditions, and I'll show you those, but essentially they're here and here and here, because there was a couple of trees cut down later on in the process. And so this is what we're looking at. And so this is what the property looks like as you're looking down the driveway. And this is that small addition, like a shed, and then this is the garage in front, and that's the little bump out right here. You can see the erosions, so basically crushed stone right along the path here. I got another look back. There's a small tree here and over here, and then there's another tree in between these two. Okay, so, and then you can see here that there are gutters on these, and the tie-ins have a close-up for you, but this is where that is. So here's the tie-ins for there, and there's a tie-in, oops, the other half of this property is right here. And then finally, Ron was actually showed me this as something I'm going to do some more research on, and maybe something we actually start including into our requirements when it comes to call text system. But essentially what you're looking at here is a means by which we've never made a big deal about leaf debris that might collect in a gutter system and then eventually ends up in a call text system, which really would shorten the life of a call text system. Particularly, I think pine needles in particular might be more of an issue. This is a way that the leaf debris that comes down actually is open, and it allows for easy clean out. And then it goes into the call text system. So maybe something we could start introducing, maybe in the order of conditions, we can
Right.
kind of mention that we want to,
It's
as
good
an
idea,
option,
yeah.
just make people aware of it. I think it's a really great system.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's a good idea.
What's it called?
I'm not sure. I need to do some research on that.
Yeah, there's that.
Detecting leaf system, pine needle.
Strainer, leaf strainer.
Strainer, that's it, it's a strainer.
So this is that, right here is right along. So if you remember, this is right next to 38 and 40 Bates Point that we've been talking about, the trees that have been removing, that are going out. So this is his property, and this is what that side looks like. And so this is that little tree, that one of the trees, he actually transplanted that from the other side of the property. He's doing quite well. And then up, as you look back up towards Bates Point Road, there's a tree. Oops. And there's another tree here. So you kind of get the idea. And all in all, I would highly recommend this property. Oh, and you would have seen that he has filed with the state for a Chapter 91. That is in the works, and all that paperwork was present in the folder as well.
Great. Okay, looking for a motion to approve the COC for 42 Bates Point Road.
I make a motion to approve the COC for 42 Bates Point Road.
First by
Second.
Ms. Foley, second by Mr. Tarbox. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. Thank you.
Hey, John,
Thank you.
I'll be in touch.
Next-
Basically, the next step is, Ron, I'll send you a form, and you just, I'll be sending you a form, and then you have to go up and take it off, get off your deed. You got it. Okay.
Take care.
All right, so,
Okay, so next we have 310 Thompson Road, another request for a COC, and yeah, give us an update.
okay.
What is it? What's 310 Thompson?
So 310 is those apartment complexes. It's opposite the marina, so it's on the other side.
That last building
Yeah,
that he finished.
so if you remember, we approved this a couple of years ago. I will tell you that I was, actually, before I go there, I want to show you, just to remind everybody what this site looks like or should look like. I don't know why I can't seem to just go back. I have to constantly go back to new materials, action. And, I wanted to show you the site plan, so you're familiar with this. I'm going to describe what I found today when I was out there. I've been waiting for a while there's supposed to be somebody contacted me for a representative to walk the site with me, and I didn't get that. So I went out today in the rain to make sure that we had something to look at. And so this is the plan. So this is the proposed plan, new building here. And then there was all these erosion controls. There's a stream here that runs in the back. And you can see that there's actually 100-foot, and this is the 200-foot setback. And if just a reminder that whenever we're talking about streams, that we're talking about 200-foot setbacks as opposed to 100-foot setbacks. So all of this was this has been built. What I found was that the erosion controls in many spots had been the silt fences had been completely either broken down or non-functional. I didn't see a lot of material on the other side, which was really good. So while they're not particularly in working condition, there wasn't much to pull. Whatever the erosion controls that were there were actually being held back. There wasn't a lot of silts. It was very flat property. You'll notice that there's actually a pipe here. It comes off of this cistern that's here, and so that'll come up in the photo. So if you're ever wondering what that is, it's basically collecting all the runoff from this apartment building. But probably the most concerning area that I'm going to show you is in this area over. There was a lot of mulch that had been particularly in this area, and then pushed all the way into here. So there's a lot of dumping of like wood chips that has occurred that needs to get cleaned out. And then additionally, you're going to find that over in this riverfront area, there's a lot of storage of equipment that's going on, and I'll show you photos of that. Probably best to show you photos because there's quite a bit to show here. So this is what it looked like from the road. So the apartment building is right over here, and this is over to the right. So the stream actually runs back just on the other side of this tree line. And I'll get more into depth, but essentially this is lots of this stored materials are over here. Oops. And there's also a lot of hydraulic equipment. I did not see any sort of spill kit either. So there's a lot to speak to these people. So this is what it looks like straight on. So you were just looking over to the right. And so this is what it looks like straight on. And then now, same basic picture as before.
Is that supposed to be grass there? That's dirt? So that's not even established yet there?
Correct. So it's
Okay.
not completely,
Not established.
correct.
Okay.
It's been planted, you can see, but it hasn't had enough time to actually grow. So, yeah, there's more stabilization that needs to occur here. So starting back in the back corner behind the building and looking over to the right where all that stored equipment is, this is what it looks like. The stream is right over here. So we put a nice little bird feeder right in here, which I thought was kind of cool. This area looks pretty good. That area looked pretty good, but then it sort of begins to fall apart. You can see how the erosion controls here are completely either knocked down, really not functioning. But like I said, there's nothing on the other side. So here we are, here's the erosion controls here. Here's that pipe I was talking to you about. There are some wood chips, a lot of wood chips on this side that it's not being shown. And this is probably the only place I found a few wood chips on this side, but for the most part, everything else is being held back.
Excuse me,
Yep.
where is the pipe coming from and
So the
emptying
pipe,
to?
if you recall, that pipe is, so the Caltech system is right here. It's collecting all the water runoff, and then it's running right down here, and that's what you're looking at right here, just on the other side of the
But where
erosion.
is it running? Is it running into the rocks? And
It runs the rocks, and then the stream is like right down here.
okay, now where is it coming from? The Coltec as in rain
It's-
or?
All of the rain coming off of the roof.
All right, thank you.
It's all the gutter runoff.
I'm always nervous with pipes. What's
I know, that's why I made sure you
inside?
saw the plan so you understood where it was coming from. And so still walking in that direction towards where all that stored equipment is, you can see all these wood chips that have piled in here. And there's even more over here, and it actually goes over they've actually stockpiled stuff on the other side of the erosion controls. Here, you can see how they've actually gone over, and actually this goes, there's another pile on the other side of this. So the stream is probably 10 feet from that. So all of that needs to get cleaned up as well. So continuing down towards that storage material, you can see that there's these cement blocks. There's a bunch of, we want to make sure that they get rid of these so they don't end up somewhere in the riverfront, but these are basically all the stumps that they pulled, and those are sort of sitting there as well. I'm still moving in that direction. Now we're up against there. You can see a bunch of trash basically being stored up against here. I will tell you that right over here, there is a storage container of some sort that hasn't been opened in a while. I tried opening it. I'll show you a picture of that in a moment, but I just want to show you that's even closer to the riverfront. I'm not really sure what's in this. Continuing down from where those are, I'm now looking back towards where those storage containers, 2 storage containers. In there, one of them was open. I'll show you the inside of one of them. But essentially, that's where they have, looks like all of their equipment that they use for being able to landscape the property. And then you can see all of the equipment that's being stored, and the stream is literally, I'd say about 10 feet off of where this equipment is. Okay. So looking into the storage container, while there's a lot of stuff in there, what really caught my attention is weed killer. Now, it's understandable why they might have some because they had a lot of knotweed issues, but I believe in their order of conditions that they weren't supposed to be using any sort of herbicides on the property. So I will be pointing that out to them as well.
Did they just leave that open?
Yeah, it was open. I didn't open it up. This is plain view. There's all the rest of the stuff in there was just like tools and such. I didn't see anything else. I just, looking back, there's the stumps that you looked at, but there's also a bunch of these stones that are being stored here. So this is where all the roots were, and this is just inside of that, a bunch of stones that have been collected in here as well that need to be removed. Oh, this is that container I was talking about. It looks very interesting. Like, is there grease stored in here? Like, what's in here? But it hasn't been opened in a while, but there's clearly something in there.
So isn't it your job to
We
find
probably
out
don't
what's
wanna
in
know
there?
Maybe there's a,
Shouldn't you
yeah.
have asked what the heck is?
I will
in-
ask when I get a tour. And so this sort of just pulled back so you can kind of see it all. So you get the idea. I do not recommend that we approve this COC. What I would recommend is that we actually continue this for at least a month and give me time to get these folks out there and get this cleaned up and before we do any sort of presentation.
So you thinking more 2 meetings, go to August 3rd?
I could give you an update on August 3rd, but I would not anticipate enough being
Okay.
done. But
Well, let's move it to the August 3rd, or well, let's get a motion to August 3rd. And I mean, slash this is almost enforcement. I mean,
Agreed, depending on their
So-
response, but they're already on the hook for this, so
okay.
it's really not an enforcement.
So I just need a
And I
motion
believe-
to.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I believe this might impact their being able to get people into their apartments as well. So there's gonna be a lot of,
Okay. I mean, I don't want to mess with anyone's, livelihood or anything. Should we just put it for next meeting just to give them a chance and we can always continue it again?
no, because they're gonna clean
August
this
3rd.
up.
Okay. All right. I need a motion to continue this to August 3rd.
Motion to continue to August 3rd.
First
Give
by
them a
Mr.
chance.
Tarbox,
I second.
second by Ms. Jewell. All those in favor? Aye. Motion passes 6-0.
Excellent.
And next, we have some staff updates. Rich, give us an update on any administrative approvals.
Yeah, I don't think I have to go into a lot of depth. I've documented lots of stuff, but there is one that I want to show you a little bit. So this initially started off as just a couple of trees, and it resulted in an enforcement order. So
Which one?
I'm getting there. So this is 23 South Shore.
Yeah.
So, oops, that's not what I wanted. Why can't I go back here?
That's weird.
Well, that's better. No, same thing. So this is going to be under administrative approvals. Okay. So 23. So initially when I went out there, I went out there to look at a couple of trees. A tree company had contacted me, and they had cranes, and they were looking to come and cut down some trees, one of which had a very sizable beaver damage, and it was sort of leaning out over the lake, so they needed a crane service. Eventually what happened was the owner changed her mind. This is sort of a side profile of that. She changed her mind, and so I needed to go back out there to get her to sign it because it was the folks who were applying. The crane company was actually the ones pursuing the permit, and so now I had to have her sign it. There's also some stone walls, so I was advising her on that. She had some stone walls that have collapsed, and so I was advising her how to proceed with that. But when I went back out there, there was another tree. It's kind of dead. It kind of blends into this, but there was another tree. But you can see there's actually a stockpile here. And the stockpile was, when I got there, and she informed me about how they were building a fire pit. And they'd sort of clear this nice little circle around, and the workers were out there. There was further away, she sort of looks like she'd either purchased or inherited this lot right next to where she lives, where there's a home. And she had pulled out the wall. Now the stone, she has some stones walkway. This is far enough away, it's probably close to 100 feet away. And she was just replacing, so she pulled them and they were sort of repaving with the same stones that were already there. And so I felt like this was an opportunity to sort of educate her as well as the contractor who were there. They don't often work on the lake, and so it was an opportunity to sort of just explain to them what the permitting process should be and a way to move ahead. I didn't think there was a big deal here. He was going to have this stockpile of debris all cleaned up by the end of the day. I said, that's fine. There was no rain planned, and it seemed to be rather innocuous. That is until I went back to get pictures, until I went to get the sign pictures, and suddenly that work sort of expanded greatly. And so I had to issue a cease and desist at this point. And so this is coming to you as well. So these are so this is the unpermitted work. So I have lots of photos to show you here. None of this stuff was there when I went through, But all of a sudden, now all of this used to be a walkway, that's all been lifted up. There was a patio that was also here, that was also lifted up, and you can see they're in the process of basically re-putting down the pavers in here and fixing all that. And so that was just you know,
Rich, would you say that's probably what, 25, that's in 25 feet from the water?
without question. Yeah, we're probably only,
It's really close, I know.
yeah, that's only like 10 feet off the water at this point
Okay,
right here.
so we're well within the buffer zone.
Yes.
Okay.
Some other spots, yeah, this is a close-up of what you were looking at. And then where there used to be a little fire pit, now there's stockpiles of materials, of stone, crushed stone, to be able to make a bigger fire pit. So now I'm looking back towards the water. This is where the walkway was going, and this is where the little fire pit was going to be. You see this bobcat being stored right next to the lake.
So they're slow learners?
What's that?
They're slow learners, they didn't understand the process?
They didn't adhere to what I was talking about? I don't know.
That's the house that's right across from Indian Ranch, right? It's right,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
and so
bobcat's been there for at least a year.
this is where the Statue of Liberty, inside this cove right here, there's a little Statue of Liberty, if you're familiar with the lake. This is a cement mixer. There was a hose that maybe you can't see here. There's the bags of cement that were here, so there's litter left out. It had rained. And I saw clear evidence that they'd actually washed this machine here, so there's a little bit of the cement over here. So clearly, you know, right next to the lake, they're washing their machine. And so, yeah, so there was an educational process that went in with the homeowner. I haven't had a chance to speak with the contractor, though I thought had educated him enough on this process. Apparently, he's done one other job near the lake, and he didn't have to apply for a permit. It's questionable. But she does have a wall. She has been put in contact with the right people as far as doing this properly. She has been, and so my suggestion to her is that she ties the whole thing I just made sure I documented all of this work so it didn't all of a sudden get done. And so at this point, I've educated her on and given her all the packet for being able to do an NOI. Like most many residential people, it's rather overwhelming to them, the process. And so she is in the process of getting somebody out there to help her professionally. She wants to keep the same, she's really connected with this contractor. And so she's really just looking to get somebody to give her plans to be able to proceed. So I haven't heard from her in approximately a week, but that's where that stands. So I just want to give you an update on that.
Question.
Yes.
Who is the onus on? The contractor? the
It's always on the
owner?
residents, but we always make it a point that we want to educate the contractor as well, because all too often contractors are the ones giving the advice to residents, and then they can proclaim that they didn't know. So it's nice to be able to have generate a list of educations that people have received, and so that when somebody has been educated onto the process, they can't sort of fall back on.
The last meeting that we went to no, it was not last spring. It wasn't the spring, the one in Holy Cross, the one before that, when we went to, there was a petition around to get the contractor liable also by state law. Do you remember that?
I don't, but I've heard of it before. I don't know
Yeah.
specifically what you're talking about.
Right.
It is fantastic idea. We have,
Hello, audience. You're aware of that, right? Oh, okay.
Just stay focused.
What?
If we could just stay focused.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thanks.
That there is an effort to make the contractor almost more liable than the owner, because they certainly would have done it more than once. as a state law.
Okay, so a quick rundown now on 21 Mark Street, a couple of birch trees. One was in the process of falling. I heard from another resident that the tree actually fell after I gave the approval on this. So one's a dead tree and one was a tree that was had kind of got caught up in some windstorms. You can look at the pictures if you want, trying to save time. We've talked about 23 South, 54 Lakeside. This was, I'm forgetting off the top of my head here. Oh yeah, okay. So it's best to sort of, I really want to sort of show you this, the map. This is a property which originally the contractor was unclear as to why it would, he was looking for a building permit, and I notified them because part of his building plan was to cut down some trees. So this is on Lakeside Ave, and this property actually does not touch the water, but here I drew out the 100-foot range, and so part of that property, particularly, so this is a slope going down, the bottom of this hill is actually in the 100-foot buffer zone. So I had to educate them, so the process is that when somebody applies for a building, it comes to everybody in the town hall. I review them, particularly for a location and what they're doing. And in this case, I caught the fact that they had not came up to me about cutting trees in the buffer zone. And it's pretty simple. Most of the work is actually being done up above. And I'm going to show one picture, which I really probably should have just left one picture for you. But essentially, this is it. That telephone pole is probably where about 75 foot. This tree and this tree are probably just inside the 100-foot barrier, but all of the work and the wall that he's planning is all up in here. None of the work they're planning is anywhere near the 100-foot buffer, so we just asked the people to cut down these two trees. So these are the two trees that I approved, but otherwise everything else is staying.
I'm going to get you some ribbon so you can put some ribbon around these trees before you take
I do
pictures.
have ribbon and yeah, that actually is coming up with, when it comes to 40, I'll be doing that with him as well to make sure we understand what trees are actually staying, because there is a bit of confusion on that.
Perfect.
But, okay. And then 82 Lakeside Ave. This is a wall which if you've, I wanted to get a picture from the lake. You can see it's it's really black. So there's a lot of, it just needs to be cleaned. The contractor is well known on the lake, Francisco. He's going to come and basically power wash this wall. And then you can see some cracks in it, and they're basically just going to fill in these cracks and stabilize and the top of the wall, some of the capping. So it really is, it's nothing more than just cement being added to the wall and power washing. So I didn't think it even required anything other than administrative approval. Otherwise, I think that's, and then there is 325 Thompson Road.
Yes, the update from the DEP.
So that came through. There's a lot of stuff in there. I think many of you will sort of pull different things out from that. So rather than go through it all, I think all of you should just give it a read. And if you have any questions, I would hit DEP. It's really, it's on them. So so in a nutshell, it was approved. I believe they have to plant like 4 blueberry bushes on that bank to stabilize it. And otherwise, they have the ability to move forward with Chapter 91. But anyways, it's out of our hands. It's in the states, and the contact person is actually on that super ordering. So if you want to contact the person, it's on there. So. Okay.
So any questions regarding Chapter 91 or any of that should all be addressed to the DEP.
Correct.
And everything's in the,
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Couple other things in the, you'll see in the staff updates there's a pole that National Grid was taking down Just a single poll. They just let us know. There's no approval here. The weed treatment is now since passed, but that map is on there if you hadn't seen it in the social media or through emails.
Great.
Okay, and then
So,
finally, on staff updates, I wanted to talk about lake cleanup. So there is a movement to do a lake cleanup, so July 25th. If you're interested, put it on your calendar, let me know, or I can put you in touch with the people who are doing it. I know that me and Brian for sure, Devin has showed some interest, and so if you're available, sounds like it's a lot of fun. Get to go out on the
I
water.
mean, you can either join a group on land, which usually starts by the beach, or you know, join a group by boat. If you have your own boat, we can maybe get 2 boats. You know, last year it was just my boat and dragging along a little, dinghy to put all the stuff in, loading it all into a box truck at the end of the day and taking it all to the dump. I think this year we're going to start a little earlier. I think our intent is still to, end around the similar time, like around lunch, give everybody their day back. And, I think we were just still trying to see if we could get some town approval as far as if there was a dumpster we could use so we didn't have to pay for trash or whatnot. But I mean, if you guys are available, it'd be a great opportunity to kind of see some people in the community, help out, post it. There's a lot of stuff that gets dumped into the lake.
Conservation is doing a wetland flag course. I've been waiting for 6 months. Michelle finally put me on. So I can't wait for that, to really learn how they flag.
Good.
It's in Marion.
Great.
Can't do everything.
Do we have an updated training list of wetland for?
Yeah, so that you have to go to their website.
Okay.
They did one, but it got filled.
It's always, there's an educational partner always.
Yeah, usually they do like half a year and then announce the
Yeah.
next half. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And finally, there was the candidates for the Environmental Service Award. Some people weren't able to get on to the Google form that I sent. So what I did was I printed out all of those, basically the write-ups for each of the candidates. I hope that any sort of discussion that we have refers to candidate 1 or candidate 2. I didn't know if you were in a position, having maybe reviewed, maybe not had enough time to review, if you wanted to vote on it or you want to put it off. I have 3 people actually voted on or went through the rubric and gave their gradings on them, and 3 people haven't. So,
Well, and I think the important part too is the document that Rich handed out for the award was, this award was intended to be for multiple applicants. It doesn't necessarily have to be just one applicant each year. So this year we have 2 potential applicants. So the award could be given to candidate 1 and candidate 2 for the year 2026.
yeah, the rubric had it was singular in one spot, so it was changed to plural so that you could understand that. The anticipation was always that, particularly in the beginning, we'd probably find a lot of people in the community because we'd never handed out the award. So
I thought that multiple people were like, if it was a group, like a Boy Scout troop, or not 2 separate individuals would both win. Am I wrong? So that was my understanding, that multiple people of the same
Same
theme.
group, right.
So like
Right.
if the Lake Association won, like if that would be a group. of
I agree. I remember that conversation, and I
Yeah.
think we agreed that was
I didn't
reasonable as
think,
well.
like, Rick, I know you can't win, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't think you and Brian could each win the award as individuals.
I know that Joey and I had conversations, and that was always the tenor of our conversations. That was always intended that we could
So what's
have.
the point?
So
If there's 4 candidates, you're going to give them all an award, so what's the point of the award? It should only be 1. That's what I thought we all agreed on in the beginning.
Okay, well, it's not the Nobel Prize. And having spoken to people and then having, about the fact that they'd been nominated for an award and then going back and telling somebody that they hadn't won, I feel is it's the wrong message.
So we don't have to vote, everybody wins that's nominated then, right?
There's,
Well, it's intended to boost the spirit of the community, right?
I mean, it's fine if you want everybody that's nominated to win, I'm okay with that, but
Well, I don't think that's the intention. So maybe we just need to add the fact of like, maybe we vote the candidate is qualified.
I think we,
And
if
in
you
this
recall,
case, I
we
mean,
left it open
maybe.
for the board to determine. Remember, you had a conversation like in the future, what somebody would want, right? So this is where this came up. Like, what would the future boards want? And so the point is that it was, the initial rubric was singular, so now it's plural. So now it's still up to you as to whether or not you want to vote both candidates in, or one candidate, or none of the candidates. That's kind of the point.
So we have the flexibility to do either, right?
I just wanted the idea here was that we were pointing out that initially it was singular, and I wanted to make sure that everybody understood it's plural.
okay.
So
And where is the rubric?
it's in that packet that you got today. I made sure you had it. It's online,
It's online
Yeah, I
and in
couldn't
here?
get in.
and it's,
So
Not
I-
through this.
So-
I can make sure it's put there.
Yeah. the rubric
You have a
is
hard
there.
copy of it now.
Yeah.
I made
Right.
sure that I printed it
Right,
off.
but how do we, so
Yeah.
we give you the hard copy back or we vote online?
I'm leaving it to you to decide how you guys want to proceed. Do you want to do email communications? I'm somewhat hesitant to have conversation in public. So if you think it needs more discussion, I would rather that we take it offline. If you think you're ready to vote and just say yay or nay, then I suppose we could do that.
And initially, you had sent this out through a separate email about the.
Correct.
Right.
I couldn't get into the link, so I have not voted yet.
I
And
understand.
they haven't reviewed, so I wouldn't want to vote until I review.
I haven't reviewed either and don't know where the link is for the rubric.
Right, so
He sent it to us. It just didn't work.
it's in, if you can't get onto the form, it's in the form. And my suggestion to you is that you use Chrome, that it should, no question, it should work there. And my guess is if it didn't work, maybe you're using some other browser. But now you have hard copies, and then you have email, so you can actually just, email me and the chair.
Okay.
Okay, great. So we'll, we don't need to really continue that or anything, that we can hopefully all be here next meeting. We can do a vote, because I would like the entire committee to be present for that vote, so if anyone's going to be absent, we might push it to the following meeting, but we also do want to get it awarded as well, so. So that being said, that's all I got. Our next meeting is Monday, July 20th. Here in the Board of Selectmen room. Please email myself or Rich any conflicts beforehand. And I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to ask a question first.
Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to know what happened with 35 Nancy Drive. It was on the agenda on the 9th. We continued it to the 22nd, and it wasn't on the agenda.
Right.
And then it wasn't on the agenda again today.
So I had left it, it might still be there. It was on here, I left it on there. Basically, it would have been,
So it was
this
on
would
the
have been
agenda.
action items? No, it
On
was,
the 9th, we voted to continue
Yes.
because, right?
right,
And
so.
then it wasn't there on the 22nd.
I received, so what I did was I posted in here, and I think I've taken it down because it was at the last meeting, which I thought somebody would ask that question because it was continued to that meeting. The applicant decided that the time involved, the time gap was not acceptable. So they retracted their application.
Oh, so they're not going to do it?
Correct. Apparently, the installers weren't going to be able to get there till, like, at that point, like at the end of July, because it would have been voted on last week. or 2 meetings ago. So they wouldn't be able to get there until like the end of July, apparently. And so just a continued follow-up on that, I looked into the other 3 pools that were right next door. What I found was that 2 of the pools farthest away that were still in the that district, the 100-foot setback, went through an RDA, I'm sorry, and were approved, but the house right next door had not. So I sent them an enforcement letter because my concern is that, one neighbor might be saying, oh, don't worry about it, just go ahead and build it. So I wanted to make sure that they understood that there was, that this had to happen. And so they did reach back out to me. She came in on a day that I wasn't here. I have her phone number now, and I just need to get over there. My guess is that that's going to result in an RDA as well. And to the point previously that we were making about educating people, my guess is that this pool was installed. And so we would look to bring that installer in here to ask all the questions that you have had previously on these sorts of things. And so it will be in front of you at some point. But
Thank you.
this pool was even closer.
Perhaps it could just go under staff updates next time, so it doesn't fall off the paperwork radar. Just, you know what I mean?
Good point. Good point.
Just a suggestion.
Yep, thank you.
I have
You're
2
welcome.
questions.
As long as it's not on that, we really shouldn't be talking about any specific properties at this
Right,
point.
Okay,
Okay, Pat.
so I only have one question.
Okay,
At the last meeting, we discussed the importance of the legal document. And you said that things get added all the time. And that Joey added things all the time. So you,
technical things,
huh?
technical.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
said he added tons of things all the time. And you said you would send us a copy of the final thing. So I was wondering when we were going to get the copy for 88 Union Road.
Yep, so I just sent that out
Okay.
on Thursday before I left. So it's the last thing I did to make sure I got done. So I will,
Yeah, just
Throw it
so,
out to you.
because if we vote on something and then you change it, there's no point of us being here.
it's fair. But I think more importantly, that what you will see is the amount of hard work that goes into actually generating all those conditions and making sure that they are written in a sense that they are stickable and that they enforceable and that they don't go away. So I assure you that I am an extreme defender of the Wetland Protection Act.
I'm not questioning that, I'm just
That's good,
questioning the legal
'cause-
document.
I make sure that,
And we all go to work and have a lot of work to do things.
yeah,
All right, it is 6:59. Looking for a motion to adjourn if there's no further questions or discussions.
Motion to adjourn.
First by Mr. Tarbox,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
second by Ms. Jewell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night. Meeting's closed.